Who should dethrone every current WWE champion? That's what we're going to find out today. As always, I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. As always, let's cheers and talk about some wrestling, eh?
Who doesn't love fantasy booking?
No.
Fantasy matchups. I think they could do this, that, and the other. Who doesn't like doing that?
It's SummerSlam time, or it's almost SummerSlam time, which means we're getting into the thick of things in the WWE, which means titles do tend to change hands every once in a while. We thought this would be a good time to get a look and get a prediction as to who we think should be those people to take the belts off. Let's get right into it. Women's Tag Team Champions, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn. What are they called?
Unholy Union.
The Unholy Union. Who should take the belts off of the Unholy Union?
That's a great question. For a tag division that hasn't really seemed to matter much now that Jade and Bianca dropped the belts, I'm hoping they bring some spotlight back to it. I'm going to go with Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler.
Ooh.
They were building them up before Clash. They've kind of been in a weird spot since then. Shayna Baszler deserves to have something, former NXT Women's Champ.
Yes.
Zoe Stark's been pretty solid in the ring.
Agreed.
They just don't have a mouthpiece, which kind of sucks, but maybe you don't need it here.
Shayna Baszler wears a mouthpiece when she wrestles. Well, this looks like the way that WWE was going with things.
I thought I was the guy with the bad jokes.
Yeah, well, no, you wait. It looked like the way Raw was going to do things, right? After Clash. It looked like they were going to keep that rivalry going until last Raw when Damage Control randomly attacked them. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm completely with you. I think Shayna Baszler is great, and I think that they need to capitalize on this badass that they've brought back out of her. Why not give her these belts right now?
Yeah.
It was a good thing that they did it at Clash, given the circumstances of them being the hometown crowd, given the circumstances of, I think, Alba Fire's mom. So it was a good story, and that's what wrestling is about. Good stories happening like that. But my take is that Jade and Bianca should go back and get them belts. I just think that they've already booked Bianca out of the Money in the Bank match. We'll see about Jade Friday. This is a good way. That tag team is a good way to have Jade work off any in-ring rust while making them look strong and the crowd being interested in it because they're two big-time stars. Go get your belt back. And let's run that a little bit longer before we end it and they start doing the feud between the two. Give them some more time.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think maybe they just keep challenging for it and maybe they don't ever get it. And maybe that's why they have the feud happen. I think I want to go with like an honorable mention of Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton.
Maybe.
They haven't really shown them. I mean, they haven't tagged once.
Tag team of the future.
But they both team up. Like they're both in segments together. You look at social media, especially Tiffany Stratton's social media. Nia Jax is always there. They're clearly friends. As we'll get to, spoiler, maybe Nia wins the belt. Maybe Tiffany wins the Money in the Bank. You could have them tease that a little bit. I just think that's a good idea.
I'm with you. If they end up being a tag team, then 100% put the strap on them ASAP because that would just be awesome and Tiffany deserves a belt. So
yeah, I guess my thought would be, why not have a double champ and a Money in the Bank briefcase holder be tag champs as well? Because the tag division needs something.
Yeah.
Why not put more eyes on it? Why not?
Fair. Let's go to the SmackDown side. SmackDown Tag Team Champions, A-Town Down Under. Who takes the belt off of A-Town Down Under? I'll go first. It better be the Street Profits. I know it's not the current rivalry. I know they haven't even spoken to each other yet. But my lord, are the Street Profits just phenomenal. Montez Ford is a diamond in the rough. Anything that he does is phenomenal. I bet he could have an amazing solo run if they wanted to do it. But if they're going to keep them in a tag team, put some straps on them. Have them wrestle weekly. Bangers. Come on.
Yeah, I think that would be the fans' pick.
Yeah.
Or most, maybe not most, but some of the fans' pick. There's definitely a percentage of fans that would want that. I'm going to go with the current rivalry. I'm going to go with DIY. Yeah. As a tag team, they're not so bad if they could just change the gimmick, which it's kind of the whole almost point of wrestling.
Yeah, I like Johnny Gargano and I like Tommaso Ciampa, but this gimmick is just disgusting to me. And now he's doing this thing where he's trying to RKO Randy Orton everywhere in person. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't take DIY seriously. At this point, I don't take A-Town Down Under seriously, which I liked them when they won the belts.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Theory's off TV right now. You can obviously just kind of keep pushing that down the road until SummerSlam, which is in Cleveland, who's from Cleveland, Ohio?
Gargano.
And Logan Paul. But yes, Logan and Jake Paul win the tag belts. Gargano obviously is going to get that moment. Why not? I don't want it to be a very long run, but maybe they win the belts and have a different gimmick. Hopefully.
Yeah, let's go no on that one.
Maybe.
All right. New Raw Tag Champions, Finn Balor and JD McDonough. Who gets the belts off of them?
You want to go? You want me to go?
I mean, I have a wild card on this one.
Well, go ahead.
My wild card makes no sense because it's not even a thing right now, but dear Lord, give the belt to Otis and Tozawa. Riding high off the Alpha Academy split, I guess, kicking their master Gable out. They need something. Otis has a fire under his butt. The crowd loves him. He's now got the newfound confidence in his soul. Man, have Otis go out there and beat them eventually down the line. That would be great. It would be a payoff from Otis becoming self-confident again and standing up to Master Gable. It would just be a good, wholesome moment, man.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Otis and Tozawa are jokes currently.
How dare
people
you.
are behind him. But
Free Otis.
it's exactly why I'm picking him as well.
Oh!
I'm going to go with it. You got to capitalize while it's hot.
Yes.
You got to give Otis something. Tozawa's been in the WWE for a while. Why not give Tozawa something? Even though he doesn't really say or wrestle or anything. Maxine can be the manager. You can build that up. You have to have a payoff for the Gable Alpha Academy storyline with Otis. He has to have something.
Yeah.
Why not do a tag team? Why not give him the title? Why not transition that into the Creed brothers? And you can have a nice little feud there with Chad Gable kind of being there as well. Maxine, Gable, trust, not trust, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it just writes itself.
Yeah, it really does. And honestly, if people don't like Tozawa, just have Otis run the tag team and have Maxine stand in the corner and have Maxine and Otis just be the tag team and just Otis pulls a Braun Strowman.
Have him bring back Tucky. Why not?
Bring back Tucky. Where's his Tucky?
Hashtag bring back Tucky.
Which one do you want to do next? You want to hit the women's titles real quick? Because those seem to be the easy ones.
Yeah, let's go with the easy choices and then go with the
So
maybe tougher ones after.
Who should take the belt off of Liv Morgan? Huh? Who should it be?
It's Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
I can't even muster another name.
Is there? Yeah, I was gonna say, is there even like? I'm not saying Zelina Vega. I'm
It's
not saying
Zelina Vega.
I mean, what we just said, Maxine. She could really no. It's Rhea Ripley. It's the payoff of the future payoff of this whole Liv Dom Judgment Day, everything. It's the obvious pick for a reason. That's going to be a main eventer whenever it does come.
Yeah.
Hopefully at a big time pay per view because Liv deserves to be in that moment too. It's the obvious pick.
Yeah, I don't know how long they're going to drag this out. I guess that depends on how
Injury.
long Rhea's out for. Obviously, some reports are saying maybe SummerSlam she's going to be on TV, maybe.
Yeah, but being on TV is a lot different from...
Correct. Yeah, so you don't want it to happen on a random pay-per-view, so then my mind immediately goes to Survivor Series, but Survivor Series, for me at least, is like my least favorite of the big four.
Yeah.
I like the Survivor Series concept, but like in terms of like a women's one-on-one match, it doesn't really fit there. So maybe you do Rumble. I don't know. But that also seems like a long way. But I think if you kind of delay it, quote unquote, it has this theme where you can keep peppering in like different Dom things, different Rhea things, different Liv things. Maybe you keep Rhea off TV a week. Maybe Liv's off TV a week. Maybe you can do different things with that. I mean, if you're a betting person, like I may or may not be, Rhea's probably like minus 50,000.
Yeah.
It's
an easy one.
Easy choice.
All right, we'll move on. We'll go to the SmackDown side.
Okay.
Women's champion. I don't know what they call it. It's the women's world heavyweight. So it's a women's WWE champion. So who should take the belt off of WWE women's champion? Bayley.
Yeah. Admittedly, I always get the belt names
Yeah.
wrong at this
Yeah.
point because I get very confused. I'm not a smart person.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Nia Jax, Queen of the Ring winner. They seem to, I mean, what's the point of winning the Queen of the Ring if you don't get the belt?
Yeah.
Nia was kind of a force there for a while. weird that she hasn't been on TV really in terms of like wrestling.
Yeah, neither is Gunther. I'm telling you, the women's Queen of the Ring winner and the men's King of the Ring winners, part of their winning contract is you just get to chill till SummerSlam, bro.
You should get to hang out.
You get a match at
signed me
SummerSlam.
up,
Just show up every once in a while. Say hi to the camera. You don't need to do nothing until then.
Yeah, and I think that with Nia potentially winning that belt, my pick is Tiffany Stratton for the Money in the Bank. You can have some really good dynamics there. It sucks for Bayley. Sucks that we really didn't get a great like run from her.
Yeah.
But they've been building Nia up, and I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity, even though I'm not the biggest Nia fan, but she's been getting better.
What they should do is they should have Tiffy win the belt, have Nia deny the tag team with Tiffy, have Nia win the belt at SummerSlam, have Tiffany cash on Nia. So I'm just going to snowball that and say Tiffany Stratton should be the champion at the end of all of this. Tiffany should be the one with the belt. She's awesome. She's got a huge crowd over. And it's not like people are that behind Bayley right now. It's not like people are really going to be that behind Nia. A real crowd interest could get behind a Tiffy time champion. I mean, she'd be a real big time heel champion for the women. I just think it'd be a great pick.
Before we go on, honorable mention as we're sitting here talking about crowd favorites.
About to say who I think.
Money in the Bank is coming up. Who's in the match? Chelsea Green.
You were gonna say it.
Why not potentially give Chelsea Green the belt? Why not have her cash it in at SummerSlam? Give me a little bit of a run. I don't need enough. I don't need a lot, but just a little bit. Everybody loves Chelsea Green. I feel like I'm talking like LA Knight now, but we might as well. I mean, if you look at the fan favorites who people want to push,
no.
WWE, you don't, because
I love Chelsea Green.
As we've talked about on this channel, people don't like your opinions.
That's true.
Chelsea Green, just a little bit more TV time. Just give me something. So that's an honorable mention.
That's the best part about Chelsea Green, though. She doesn't need any belt to be interesting. She just is interesting. But
she doesn't, but it would be so good. Can you imagine? She cashes in SummerSlam Friday. SmackDown opens up. She opens up the show with a promo. Screw Roman. Screw Bloodline. Screw Cody Rhodes. Give me Chelsea Green.
Oh, God. All right. Let's hop back.
Saying, oh, God, it's not that bad of a choice.
Let's hop back on over to the men's side.
Okay.
U.S. title, Mr. Logan Paul, hometown coming up, SummerSlam. Okay. Who should be the person that dethrones Logan Paul and gets the U.S. title? I'll go first. The obvious pick. It's LA Knight. Yeah. I mean, it's time. LA Knight would show up weekly with that belt. Yeah. I could see LA Knight pulling some John Cena move and maybe doing a weekly challenge from it, something like that. I mean, his whole gimmick is The Rock and Stone Cold. You might as well take the John Cena's U.S. title reign with it, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
So, that's who I got.
I can't do the voice. Yeah. I did see, speaking of John Cena, side tangents of wrestling right here. I saw the TikTok video of him, like a little comp of him, like, oh, you're going to come out and you want this U.S. title. Who's coming out? And it was like the open challenge. I was like, man, that's so cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Such a great idea. Yeah, it's got to be LA Knight. I don't know who else it would be. It's kind of almost like the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan thing.
You know what? You just pulled a Chelsea Green for the women's title, so I'm gonna do a random guy here. Montez Ford should do it. Okay. I'm bringing back Montez Ford. The dude is an absolute diamond in the rough. I don't have to say much. Even if he wants to be a singles competitor, I bet he'd tear the roof down. So give him a belt.
Yeah, it's fair, but it's LA Knight.
Yeah,
so it's got to be LA Knight. I feel like it's a foregone conclusion. He's gonna be great with that belt.
Yes, he is.
As much as we talk about long title reigns versus short title reigns, give me a pretty decent LA Knight run because he deserves it.
Yep. IC title, our favorite, we love this guy, Sami Zayn. He's just our best bud. Who should take the IC title off of Sami Zayn?
You want to go?
No, I went last time.
No, you went last time. Well, he's got a match at Money in the Bank, so the easy choice would be Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
I love Braun Breaker. He's not dropping the belt at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but
I've said it once before on this channel. I'll say it again. He's not losing the belt at Money in the Bank.
Yeah, but we know that that's because of they're going to drop it to him at SummerSlam.
At SummerSlam, correct.
Yeah.
Which is why. Give me Sheamus. Sheamus always ruins matches for Braun Breaker. You could have penciled in a fatal 4-way with him and Kaiser as well, but Kaiser's hurt, which sucks for Kaiser because we love Kaiser. Kaiser was doing some really good work. I just think Sheamus there, he can take the belt off Sammy. He's never won that title before. You give him a Grand Slam champion, Big Four pay-per-view, then he can go off and feud with Braun. I just feel like WWE has a hesitation. If LA Knight was a prime example, there's been some other stars in the past that they don't pull the trigger. Maybe they think it's almost too early to pull a trigger on Braun, so maybe that's why I'm thinking, hey,
but
give it to Sheamus.
The reason that I don't think that that's part of it is because that's literally been part of the story with Braun. Was like they didn't let him compete in the King of the Ring tournament because they wanted to wait. That's literally been part of the story. So I think, while yes, at Money in the Bank, some effery is going to happen that costs him. At SummerSlam, Braun Breaker's walking away with that belt, and it's going to be wonderful. So
that's a good choice. I mean, I love Braun Breaker. I'm not upset with that at all. I just think you are kind of almost finagled into a corner here. You're backed into a corner. Like with Kaiser being out, you have to have something for Sheamus. He's kind of been in Braun Breaker stuff, so like you just pencil him in.
Yeah, you can pencil him in for a pin. All right.
Yeah, him pinning Sami Zayn.
Oh, hey, that would be a win. I like Sheamus. Let's go to my boy. World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest, who dethrones the man. I'll go first on this one.
Yeah, I went first last time.
Seth Rollins.
That's not a good choice.
It is. And the reason that it is a good choice is because SummerSlam is coming up. Gunther's already penciled in for the championship match, and what looks better on a poster and outside of whatever the Brown Stadium is called. It's going to be Seth Rollins.
Paul Ford Stadium?
Something like that.
I'm going to pull it out of my...
I have no idea. But
that might be it.
Seth Rollins is one of the few guys that casual wrestling observers or people who don't even watch wrestling...
Like Dave Meltzer?
People who don't even watch wrestling might notice who he is. They might not know his name. They might not know much about him, but like they could see him on ESPN and be like, that's that wrestler guy. Yeah. So they at least know of him. That's a big time name. It's the second biggest pay-per-view of the year other than Mania. Big time moment. Rollins versus Gunther just looks better on paper than Damian Priest versus Gunther. And that hurts me to say because I love me some Damian Priest and I hope that he goes to SummerSlam with the belt. But give me Seth Rollins.
Yeah. I've been loving Damian Priest's run. As I said with Nia Jax, King and Queen of the Ring have been built up. Give me Gunther.
Yep. I
hope Damian Priest gets that run to SummerSlam. Gunther. He kind of deserves it. That, at least in my opinion. I know some people aren't Damian Priest fans, but I am. Yep. I've been very happy with his run.
Yep.
It says a lot because I thought that Finn Balor was going to kind of screw him over and maybe carry that title in. I want to see Balor versus Gunther, which would be a great match, but Balor just won the tag belts. Also, Rollins is just coming back from injury. I feel like it is kind of like a big screw you to the fans almost. Like, hey, we're going to have the same guy hold the belt at the Big Four pay-per-view. He just came off surgery. Don't get me wrong. I love Seth Rollins, but
you're right.
I don't want that to happen.
You're right. And I think that's normally what the fans, how they would take it. I think that's normally the situation where they'd be like, oh, you just came back and you get a title shot and you win it. What is this? But I think that most fans are extremely lukewarm at best on Damian, unfortunately. Yeah. We love him, but I think most of the fan bases, and I can take that away from our viewers and comment sections, most people aren't as high. So, and people love some Seth Rollins, and we know what his championship reign can look like already. We know what he does. And if you are a fan that sees Gunther as the endpoint anyways, you go, yeah, I'll do Rollins with the belt for 1 month, and then Gunther can take over and we can get something new. So I don't think they'd be mad.
Yeah, and I think you made the point there with long-term storytelling in terms of Gunther Rollins. I mean, it was pre-Mania where Gunther was like, hey, I want to take that belt off. I think that's probably maybe the first feud after SummerSlam for Gunther.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, maybe there's some shenanigans that happen and maybe Damian retains that Money in the Bank and Seth is, I don't know what you really do with Seth, to be honest, but you could have him come out and challenge Gunther. I mean, everybody walks out on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown and says, hey, I want a title shot. No. Gunther, I could see him. Well, you are a better man most times, so I want to prove I'm the best man.
I want to watch that match. Yeah. You talk about long-term storytelling. How about a Chad Gable Money in the Bank win facing Gunther, finally getting his shot at the at the belt.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not dethroning the current champ, but that could be long term.
Yeah.
Finn Balor, Dominic in the Money in the Bank somehow. They're both not in it right now, but somehow, some way, that would be some good long term storytelling that ends Damian Priest and Judgment Day. So there's a lot going on there, but I think Seth Rollins and Gunther, those are the picks.
Yeah, and that, don't get me wrong, it's a great match. Sounds phenomenal. I just think Priest maybe deserves it a little bit. In terms of Gable, maybe you have him cash in and maybe he gets the belt before SummerSlam, potentially. I just don't know where that maybe comes into play with the whole Howdy thing.
Yeah, it won't.
I thought about it as well, and I was like, well, the Howdy thing's there. So, like, they haven't acknowledged that yet, but that is going to happen eventually. Yeah. So,
final one.
My boy.
The moment of truth. Who dethrones the undisputed champion, the Nightmare, Cody Rhodes?
The American Nightmare.
American Nightmare.
American. He always has those eagles on the shoulder
does.
pads. I've come to the conclusion that I don't really want Cody to have the belt until Mania. It's kind of maybe selfish to say because I was like, man, Cody deserves the belt. Cody. But Cody, to me, is a better challenger and chaser than he is champion. Now, I'm not saying his championship run has been bad. I just like him in that underdog, like, I want this title chasing. So I'm going to go with I feel like maybe the favorite answer. It's Randy Orton. We talk about long-term storytelling. We just said it. 10, 12, 13, I don't even know how long. 15 years maybe?
Yeah.
A long time. Him in Legacy, and obviously, you know what? Get Ted DiBiase out of jail. Make him the special guest referee. Let's just go ahead and do that. I forgot
he was in jail.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that as well. I think that's just, it just writes itself, obviously. You can have him, I don't really know when you lose it, maybe like a Rumble.
Yeah.
And maybe you have them fight again at Mania. I don't know what I would pick there, but long term, I feel like that's a rivalry that's going to happen. I don't know anybody else that he'd maybe drop the belt to. And I mean, it's Randy Orton. Everybody else here knows how much I love Randy Orton.
So obviously that's what a lot of people would say. That's been the rivalry that at least our comment sections have alluded to wanting for a long time. It's like destined to be, right?
Yeah.
Now me with the answer that people are going to hate, but the right answer. It's the right answer.
The right answer?
It's the right answer, not the people's answer. Boy. It's Solo Sikoa. It's Solo Sikoa. And that's not because I like Solo Sikoa. It's not because I like him at all. It's not because I like this new bloodline at all. I like Jacob Fatu. That's going to be cool to see, hopefully. But SummerSlam's coming up. You have to establish the bloodline as a real threat. Because right now, they're just kind of a joke. Weekly, Kevin Owens and
Sami Zayn, huh?
The other Canadian. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton just dispatch them weekly. Every single week, they just beat them up. Yeah. And it's like, okay, this is completely separate from Roman's bloodline because back in the day, they used to dominate people, win championships. You got to get the belt for your big dog once for me to care. And if you're going to do it, just do it at SummerSlam. Have Jacob Fatu and the Tongas and all of them, have them get Solo a championship. I'm not saying he keeps it. He can literally keep it for a week, a month. I don't care. He's gonna drop it back to Cody.
Yeah.
But have the bloodline be established this way, and then you can at least point to, well, what has this bloodline done without Roman Reigns? Well, they won Solo Sikoa a championship. Look at that. And Paul Heyman would be sitting there crying. It would be a sight to behold at SummerSlam. I just think it would be a great story device. Even if Solo Sikoa is not living up to the tribal chief hype that we thought he might.
Yeah, and
yep.
Yeah, story. That's a really good pick.
Not the people's answer; it's the right answer.
Because you think about it, what has Tama Tonga and Tongaloa done?
Nothing.
Right. Let's just bloodline versus bloodline.
Lost their King of the Ring matches.
Right.
Blew their shot at the Money in the Bank.
Never won the tag titles. Yeet.
Yeah.
The Usos have won it 11 times.
Right.
I don't know, some ridiculous number.
They are losing time. WWE is losing time for the people to think of them as a threat by any means.
Yeah, you kind of need to do that because reports of Roman coming back.
Yeah.
Why would he care about Solo Sikoa?
Not even that. Yeah, right.
Like he comes back and he's like, "Oh, this is your bloodline."
Yeah, like just move.
Like I held this belt for 4 years and Solo I mean, what, Solo not going to hold the belt up? Solo would be like, I beat Cody Rhodes, you couldn't beat Cody Rhodes. Now,
Exactly.
Technically, I guess, like, well, I beat him at, what, 39?
You beat him once, I beat him once.
Yeah. So you could at least have them on a level playing field.
Right. Because right now, I agree. Roman Reigns would walk in right now and just be like, okay.
Yeah. Well, like you have the wise man. The wise man could just come over here. Like unless you have like
you just yank his leash.
You have Solo Sikoa versus Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman in a cage match above the ring. Like that just doesn't make any sense. So I guess, I mean, so I guess, he drops it to Solo. He wins it back after the pay-per-view after SummerSlam. Then he feuds with Randy. Maybe Randy's the Mania feud. Maybe.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm not saying Solo keeps it. I'm not saying we're getting a 4-year reign. I'm literally you can lose it the next Friday on SmackDown. I don't care. Well,
Solo, I guess, So I guess it's important here with like dynamics, I guess, of like timing. We talk about timing's everything with like Rhea Ripley. She's hurt, so you can kind of delay that a little bit. Obviously, there's reports of Roman coming back before SummerSlam. You can have him maybe come back like the week, maybe 2 weeks before. I know there's reports of maybe at the Garden, which it would be fantastic. Makes a lot of sense. But I almost want Solo to win that belt after SummerSlam. And then the Friday after, you start off SmackDown and Solo's sitting there. Solo's like, I told you guys. And he holds the belt up. And as he slowly holds the belt up, boom.
And Roman's like, oh, you got me my belt back. Thanks.
Tribal Chief music hits. Boom. I feel like that would be
give me the belt.
So good.
Yeah. It's not the people's answer. It's the right answer.
I just want to establish when he talks about the people's answer. Like so far in this channel, a couple months in, most people side with me versus him because I have the right answers. I give the people what they want.
And I give the people what they need.
Yeah, call this guy John Laurinaitis. Screws the people over every time.
Speaking of that, if you disagree with us, let us know in the comments. Let us know who you think should dethrone all the champions here in the WWE. It's we're getting to an exciting time. So follow us on all of our socials at codwrestlepod, COD WrestlePod, and listen to us wherever you get your podcast at Spotify, Apple, etc. And share us with anybody who you think might love this type of content. Until next time, I'm Will. That's Brandon. We're the Cousins of Destruction Wrestling Podcast. We will see you next time.